Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Jay's joining us for the first time since, like, July, I think.
Think so.
Yeah, with the whole Shiner Bock debacle.
Yeah.
We're doing a pretty special beer tonight. This is Floyds 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓲𝓷, which is, we were just saying off camera, it's like the 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓲𝓸𝓷 of America. Because they only brew it once a year, and you can only get it by waiting in line at the brewery on that day, which I think is in April.
Yeah, I believe they call it Dark Lord Day. And
yeah.
It's one day, and it's, I believe, in April.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if we're doing it justice is because, you know, this is the 2010 edition, and, you know, people say, and it's 13% ABV, so, you know, it's, a lot of people say lay it down for like a year and a half, and so it's only about 6 months old.
Yeah, now, I mean, I didn't read the side, and maybe we should have, but I believe it's aged for 1 year at the brewery already. So even if it is premature, it's at least a year and 6 months if that's the case, which
There's a fly in here.
at least isn't the worst thing, you know?
There's like Russian writing on here, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
And as you can see, there's like a coating of wax on here, and they use a different color each year. I don't know if the bottle opener is gonna get through it. Oh yeah, it is. No smoke. Well, this is a Russian Imperial Stout, by the way. I'm just gonna... Yeah, it's not much head on there. It's kind of like the...
And it looks rather
Bourbon
thin. It looked kind of thin to me.
Really?
Yeah, it smells good, though.
Yeah, I can smell it from here, and you can probably tell my sinuses are a little stuffy.
I want to make a comment that it is the 2010 version, just in case it's not on my video. But,
yeah.
Alright, well...
Yep, it's totally black.
Yeah, totally black. Can't see through it. I got like a pretty good carbonation going on the bottom here. With like a one finger...
I just got a little bit more
head.
head. Man, that was straight up brown.
Dark head, yeah.
Like Coke or something.
Oh, it smells like wine.
Yeah, it's very grapey.
Yeah, like dark wine.
I was expecting, you know, like chocolate.
Yeah, like it kind of reminds me of how like the Worldwide Stout from Dogfish Head smells.
Yeah, yeah. Not as potent though.
Yeah, you know, it's got like wine and then some chocolate notes in it. I'm betting it's gonna taste similar than now that I'm smelling it. Anyway, should we fill up the rest of the glass and give it a try?
We can top off as we go.
All right.
So,
now let's
cheers.
give it a try. Cheers. That's good.
It's two flavors in one. Immediately you get like kind of like a red wine kind of sensation.
Yeah.
And then on the back end, bitter dark chocolate.
Yeah, real sweet. Extremely sweet. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a sipper, but it wasn't quite as potent as I was expecting. Because like the Worldwide Stout is one of the most potent beers I've ever had, and this one it's up there, but it was a little bit easier to go down.
I definitely get an alcohol warmth across the middle.
Yeah,
in the back.
In the back of the throat and going down the chest.
As soon as it hits your lips, though, it's like an intense fruit flavor, like I said, like red wine.
Yeah. The bitterness is not too bad, and I love the smoothness, how it goes in the back of the palate. It goes so well in the palate. I think that's why I love Russian Imperial Stouts. I just love how smooth they are and how full, robust, flavorful they are as well.
What's interesting is I think it's from the head, not so much from the beer, but it's not like a thick, creamy, velvety mouthfeel.
Yeah. It's
more like a lighter beer with the active carbonation. You notice that? Like it's just like as far as the actual mouthfeel.
Well, to me, what I mean by when I say smooth, to me, it's not like milkshake smooth. It's more like chocolate syrup smooth.
Yeah, it's definitely syrupy, I'll give you that. Dark chocolate aftertaste that really lingers.
Yeah, the chocolate's what I mainly taste. I mean, the dark fruits up front, but then chocolate's the lingering taste.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how easy it is to drink, because usually things like this are sippers, and it's kind of going down a little easier than I thought.
Yeah, me too. I was expecting this to be like a punch in the face, but
I was expecting to, like, me and you split a bottle and take a half hour. It might not be as bad as we thought, hard as we thought.
Yeah, the drinkability on this is actually quite high. I think it's because, like, it's literally not that thick of a beer, like you said when you were pouring it.
It kind of will have like a watery consistency.
Yeah, well, I mean, just thinner than you'd expect.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it watery.
A thin consistency.
It
leaves like,
yeah,
it leaves a stickiness on your lips.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And there's also the chocolate bitterness lingers, and it's like combining. Like if you could ever possibly have bitter red grape,
yeah,
that's kind of like what this is. So you want to sip on this some more and come back?
Sure. Drink the rest of it.
All right, we'll be back.
All right, well, we're back. And we both got, you know, quite a bit of beer here still left, but we wanted to talk a little bit before we finished it off. I guess my first question to you would be, you had the luxury of having the Westy 12 already.
Right.
And I have not. And these are, like, according to Rate Beer, ranked 1 and 2, and even on Beer Advocate, they're both like one of the most highly, anticipated beers or highly ranked beers. So, would you characterize this as being in the right spot as the Westy 12 as one of the best beers in the world? Would you not, and would you consider it one of the best beers in the world?
No, because I think the reason that those beers get this and Westy 12 get such high ranks is because they're so hard to come by, and so there's a forbidden fruit kind of appeal to them.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
And yeah, because I remember when I drank Westy 12, I'm like, this is a really, really good beer, but it's not. Even if I believed there was such thing as best beer in the world, this isn't it. And it certainly wasn't the best beer I've ever had. And I'm having a similar reaction to this. I mean, it's a really, really good beer, don't get me wrong. But, if I drank this blind and you told me, oh, hey, guess what, this is considered the second best beer ever made, I'd be like, really?
Really? Yeah. Now I haven't had the Westy 12, but what I can say is I've had quite a large amount of Russian Imperial Stouts and some of the highest ranking Russian Imperial Stouts in the world. And I can tell you straight up, no doubt, I think this beer is phenomenal. I'm loving it. And I know for you, Russian Imperial Stouts are not quite as much, you're not as big as a fan as I am of them. You're a bigger IPA fan. But even that said, even though I'm a huge fan of Russian Imperial Stouts, and I find this amazing, I don't go and say, this is the second best beer I've ever had. And I can even say I've had other Russian Imperial Stouts that I personally like a little better.
Right.
But it is excellent.
So, what are you thinking as far as grade? Are you going top-notch or just excellent?
Top-notch. It's still a top-notch beer. There's nothing wrong with it. I have preferences.
See, I'm going to go one step below you. I'm just going to say excellent. Because to me, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. It's just not blowing me away the way that a 10 would. And I notice as it's warming, it's getting a little more complex now. It's getting, like you said, roasty kind of flavors.
The roastiness is coming out as it warms.
Getting a chocolate or coffee bitterness.
Yep.
Although chocolate does seem to be intensifying, you're getting a little more booze, but not a lot. They did a really good job, like Southern Tier style, of masking the booze on this.
Yep. And I also noticed that as it warmed up, it did kind of become a sipper.
Yeah.
You know, like at first I was like, wow, I'm drinking it fast. But now as it's warming up, I am sipping on it a little slower.
Me too.
You know, I think what I like about it is the smoothness. The smoothness is always what draws me the most close. That's what really gets me for these beers. I love just, feels like it's just gliding down my throat.
We're going on kind of long here, so you want to wrap up?
Yeah, let's wrap up. Anyway, we're going to do a little final chug here. It's almost like a waste, but, I always do that, so... but again, I'm going to give it a top notch, and you're going to go with a 9?
Yep, 9 out of 10.
So again, that was the Dark Lord's...
3 Floyds.
Or 3 Floyds Dark Lord. And
cheers.
Until next time, thanks for watching.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.